What's up YouTube? My name is Eduardo and today I'm taking a look at the Neca Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Alright, there she is. Elvira, 40 years. She's again. When you hear the name Elvira, only one person comes to mind. Horror icon and quintessential symbol of all things spooky, the one and only Mistress of the Dark. Includes chalice, dagger, skull candle, and interchangeable heads. As the other head, the main head. So, yep. Let's see how she is. She has a cloth dress. Hopefully she's good. I know she's like really tall. I don't know, she's not going to be in scale with anything I have. But I chose Elvira because it's October and she usually starts, you see her in the start of a movie before it plays, so we're going to do Elvira first. And then, I don't know, some other spooky action figure type things. Alright. There's the dagger. I don't know where the chalice and the skull come from though. Alright, let's take her out of the box. Alright, so here's Elvira. I'm sure everyone here knows, but in case you don't, she was the host of Elvira's movie Macabre. So they would usually play crappy B horror movies, and Elvira, she introduced the movie, and then she would chime in during commercial breaks, and then she does the closing thing after the movie ends. And she was pretty funny, and sexy, so that got popular. So she's gotten 2 feature films, a bunch of merchandise, and this is what we're looking at now. The latest Neca Elvira. So here is a close-up of her face, and she's really pretty, almost as good as the real Elvira. But they're not quite there yet, but what we got was really good. And her legs are painted in a way that looks like she's wearing leggings, and you've got the fabric outfit, the iconic Elvira outfit. So far so good. I would say aesthetically she's almost perfect. Size-wise, Elvira is really tall. Like the top of her head reaches a little over 8 inches and the very top of her hair is almost at 9 inches, so she won't be in scale with anything you've got probably. But here are some size comparisons in case you want to see for yourself. Here is a Marvel Legends Spider-Man, the Jakks-specific Mario movie Mario, the Studio Series Shockwave from the Bumblebee movie. Here's a Jazzwares Master Chief from the Spartan Collection, Overwatch 2's Tracer from Pop-Up Parade, and She-Hulk, and She-Hulk. So for accessories, Elvira comes with an extra head, and in this one she's winking and she's got her mouth open too. Pretty good options, but on my copy I had a really hard time snapping that second head in. It actually hurt my hand, so I'm probably going to stick with the default head because for some reason that one has an easier time going in. She also comes with a few more accessories. A stand with her signature, a dagger, a chalice, and this skull candle with a snake going through it, and an eye. So that's pretty cool. The baby knife looks pretty nice, but it only has printing on one side for some reason, and you can wedge it in her hand. I don't know if she ever actually holds this thing, but if you don't want her to hold it, there's a spot on her belt thing where you can just sheath it in, and she actually does wear that on like the box art of this thing. The chalice is also very nice. It's a really cool looking accessory with the design on it, and you can just wedge that on her left hand. Of the 3, this is probably my favorite accessory. And her last accessory is this pretty sick looking candle. Look at it, it's got a spider, a snake, red candles, and there's an eyeball in it still. Really awesome accessory. The only thing holding it back is getting her to hold it is pretty hard. Side note, does this look like the Crypt Keeper to anyone? Cause it kinda looks like the Crypt Keeper to me. And I don't know why. Maybe because that was another horror host, so I don't know how she got a hold of his head, but now she's using it as a candle. Oh, that's a funny joke, slash maybe coincidence, I guess. So that is it for her accessories. A pretty good spread, they're all useful, so let's move on to the next thing. I think articulation is next, so let's move on before I get too distracted here. Starting with the head, which I have removed, unfortunately she does not get much movement. Her hair is soft plastic, but you can only basically go left and right. You can barely get a head tilt. And forget about looking up and down. Alright, I'm gonna have to move her dress to show off some of these joints, so nobody freak out. First, we got the ankle, and that's just a hinge there, and you can move it up and down and left and right. You can see the paint there is messed up, so that's kinda lame. You've got these single jointed knees. They don't get much range though. I don't know if I would have preferred double jointed though, because that tends to look weird. Okay, so taking off her belt. Okay, so her legs are on these ball joints, and you can see all that black stuff there. Every time you move it, it's like peeling the piece of plastic there, and every time it gets on my floor, so that's bad. But at least she can do a perfect split. Her thigh there has a swivel, and she could kick this high. Looks like it's exactly 90, and the backwards kick isn't that good because her butt's getting in the way. Okay, so I'm gonna lift up her dress a little, and you can see that she's got no waist swivel, but she has that upper torso thing, so she can rotate that all around. Alright, so here's a problem that I have with cloth goods, and it's that I never know if the area that I'm bending is actually supposed to bend, so I always have to move her clothes out of the way and kind of check, okay, this is where I'm bending it properly. I'm not like forcing an area that's not supposed to bend that way. There's her double jointed elbows. Always have to check that too. Gotta roll up her sleeve and see if I'm not bending her arm in the opposite direction or something. And the wrist have that hinge there. You can actually take her hands off, which is useful if you want to remove her whole dress. And I think that is every point of movement she's got, so I would say her articulation is only okay. You can't really put her in too many of her iconic poses, and she has trouble because her knees don't have enough range. So I'm slightly disappointed, but you can get some decent sitting poses out of her. Okay, so positive thing about the fabric clothing is that it can be completely removed, and if you have something else, you can put her in a different outfit, which is very, very cool. This is a kimono that I bought from the Miniso store for like $1.30. It's not a perfect fit, but it does look really, really good, so I'm happy with it. Also, if you want to remove her clothing, I suggest you pull out her hands, because she has some really sharp nails and you don't want her to like puncture her original dress. So that's Elvira. I think she's a really good looking figure. The painting is really good, and she's got all these little details on her hands. They got like that ring she always wears on her right hand and everything. The only thing holding her back, I think, is she doesn't move very well. And also, she's like really top heavy, so every time I'm standing her, she's like leaning back because of the weight on her head. But mostly, I'm happy with this purchase. It was like $37.99, so I might buy the other Elvira because they keep announcing like more versions of her. You got the red one, the Christmas one, the Pride one, and they also did like this Rambo one from the movie, I think. So I'm giving this Elvira a 4 out of 5 because I like the fact that you can completely remove the dress and put her in a different outfit. And now I totally see the appeal of dolls. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, so goodbye. God damn it, I didn't even talk about her chest, so she's great. That part of her is perfect. She gets a 5 out of 5 there, so definitely go buy her if you like, let's say, cultured figures.